Hi everyone, this is Heather with the Roxbury Schoolhouse. As we get closer to starting our homeschool year this year, I wanted to go ahead and go over some of the curriculum that we use and that we've loved over the years. The first one is the Pathway Readers. This has been a staple in our home since the very beginning, and we started out with kindergarten, and this series goes through the 8th grade. We just enjoy it because it's very wholesome. There's nothing questionable in it about things that are out here in our world. It's mostly about character values that I think all kids and even some adults need to really go through and learn about. So each story is typically about a character value. Could be about money or kindness or just sharing, and it goes through and starts out in kindergarten, and once they get to 8th grade they've done a lot of reading as poems or stories. And in the early grades we really do like to let them read aloud to us so they can understand and hear the cadence of a story, the cadence of a poem. And that way they're practicing their skills, but they're practicing it in a safe environment. And as they get stronger and stronger, then we let them go ahead and read to themselves. On day one, I typically like to let them read the story either aloud or by themselves. And then on day two, we go back and we pick up the workbook, which goes perfectly with the actual book. And that workbook, they have it's kind of broken down by whatever the reading was. So we talk about vocabulary in here of the story. We do reading comprehension questions, or they also sometimes, as they get older, they will say, find this this sentence in the story, what page is it on, and so on. So they're using those study skills that they need as they get older. But what I love so much is it's just mostly reading comprehension early on. Sometimes they will go into a little bit of grammar. So it's a great it is a great supplement for us to our regular language arts curriculum. But I have done it before where if we felt like we had too much going on, we might just focus on this, because it does pinpoint all those things that kids need in a language arts program, but it's a lot gentler, and it doesn't take as long as other language arts curriculums do. Like I said, it starts out in kindergarten, and the first one is the grade 1 primer. It says grade 1, but we kind of started it in kindergarten, depending on where my child might be. All 4 of my children kind of had different, a different reading comprehension, different, sight words already done in kindergarten versus first grade. So I had one that didn't really read as much until mid grade 1 and grade 2, and another one did great in kindergarten. So it just kind of depends on your child where you feel like that they need to start at. But the first one is the primer, which is grade 1, and the stories obviously are a lot shorter. They have bigger words, bigger letters, so that they can read and follow along a lot easier. Then you get to 8th grade. This one is 7th grade, and you can tell that the font is smaller. The stories are longer, and at the end of the stories, as they get older, they have a thinking it over section, so they can say how or what was happening in the story at this part, because they're using some other skills that they weren't getting or needing, of course, as they first started. I like to add a narration list for the kids to stick in their books, and it's kind of goes back to the Charlotte Mason method, where tell me the story back in your own words. So that's one of the things that they have you do. Or make a notebook page about the story. And it's just another level of reading comprehension as they're growing, because sometimes kids can just read, you know, a story and then they have no idea what they've read. And these are just some little tidbit skills that they are we're trying to layer in so they can actually understand what they're reading. And that's why we love this so much, because it's wholesome. It talks about character traits throughout the entire series, sharing, being kind, finances, all of that stuff that we need as children and sometimes even as adults. But it's all put into this wonderful language arts program, coupled with comprehension, and the value and the price is outstanding in my opinion. Typically the hardback books are about $8 and these are $5 and under, and I would really encourage you to go and get these for your homeschool. And it's a great addition to any homeschool, whether you've been homeschooling for years or you're just starting out. Hope you enjoy it. Put something down below to let me know what you think, and have a great day.